we are going to do some dry point printing or intaglio printing. So to do that, we need a piece of plexiglass or metal. We have plexiglass. You're gonna need a needle, and you might need sandpaper. Your plexiglass might have a piece of plastic or two over it. If it does, you can pull that off. I have my plexiglass right on top of my sketch, so I can lightly carve in my design. I'm gonna hold this like I do with a pencil grip, and I'm gonna have it tilted so it's mostly on its side. So if you see, I'm holding it down low, and I'm just gonna trace my designs lightly with this. So you're not pressing hard, this is just getting the marks into the surface. I'm gonna do this for all of my designs. The reason you want to draw lightly and not press too hard is because if you make a mistake, these lines won't show. Once you have that all curved lightly in there, you can remove the paper. You don't have to, but you might be able to see the scratches or the marks that you've made in your plexiglass more. Now, the way intaglio printmaking works is these scratches that we have in here, we'll put ink in there, we'll rub it into the lines, and the lines are where our print's gonna be. So normally when we do printmaking, we carve into it and the carved part is not showing up. But with this, it's the opposite. So these lines will show up on our design. So now I have my design in there better. I'm gonna change the angle of my needle, and I'm gonna scratch and press a little bit harder. Like I said, you could still have your drawing over top, but it might be easier for you to see this way. So depending on the angle that you're holding in this, the deeper you can make those grooves with the needle. Some of the grooves you might need to go over more than once. Make sure you're taking your time so your groove doesn't go in a direction you don't want it to. These grooves that we're creating are called burrs, and burrs are just the ridges that we're creating right now. I'm gonna go in and carve this whole thing, pressing hard. Remember, the pressure that you're putting on it and the angle that you're holding the needle will create different marks. And some you might wanna do little points, so you can press down on that a little to make little dots. You might need to do that more than once. We're gonna design this whole thing, and then once we are done, or almost done, we're gonna do a proof. And a proof just means that you are going to create a print to see what we need to fix on the design. So with this method, it's harder to know exactly how your image is going to turn out. So we'll do a test print, see what we need to fix, like if there's some grooves that aren't deep enough and aren't showing up well enough, and then we'll create our final prints once it's been fixed. If you make a mistake in a groove, you can use some sandpaper and lightly sand out that mistake. Just be careful that you're not pressing too hard so it's not making an indent on the paper. But you're gonna go ahead and do this to your whole print, scratching in your design.